Episode 3, the HR system is broken and what you've been told is wrong. So in this episode, I'm going to talk to you about why what you're doing is not working, and this should make you feel much more relieved that it's not just you. So companies have taken what used to be a very simple process and they've made it way too complex. Stop and think about it for a moment. Before the printing press, how did people find a job? Well, they had a good reputation for doing good work, and people referred you to the decision maker who decided they liked your work and were going to offer you a position. Now, technology is kicked in, and we're all going through the same song and dance and applying for opportunities or jobs. So what is that song and dance? Well, if you think about it, you've been told that you need to have keywords embedded on your cover letter and in your resume. So what does everybody do? Everybody sits at home, does research, figures out what keywords are being used in the job description, and then they re-engineer themselves completely to reflect that job description as they understand it on their resume within their cover letter, and they submit it into the technology system. Well, what does that accomplish? It takes everyone who is unique, who has a unique story and a unique background and unique qualifications, and it makes 200 people look exactly alike. So stop and think about that. In trying to just deal with the technology, you have already stripped yourself of everything that is a unique identifier. You've used their terminology to describe yourself, and now, because you've played by the rules of the game, you look like 200 other candidates, and it becomes the job of HR to quickly sort through the pile of 200 candidates that look identical and bring it down to a few people who are going to make the short list. This does not sound very efficient, and in fact, it's very inefficient. So the results, 100% of candidates look exactly alike, and people are lost in a system trying to figure out what's next. Let me give you an example of this. ABC Corporation in Kansas City, which is where I'm located, decided to go out and get a new technology for their hiring process. To test the system after they installed it, they had all of their core people in their core jobs and responsibilities apply to their own job. What do you think happened? 90% of the people who already had a job at the company were kicked out of the system as disqualified. Can you believe that? Well, that happens all the time. And that's the problem with the technology today, is that it's just inefficient. So it's not you. You are not broken. The system is broken. And that's got to be reassuring to know. Let's talk for a moment about other marketplace myths that are mindsets that you might have. These are things that people believe, but that are not true. Some of the things people believe is that resumes represent meaningful documentation. Well, we want to tell you, if that resume is not customized and tailored for the job that you're applying for, in other words, you are only talking about things that demonstrate your ability to do the work and do it profitably, reflecting and acknowledging the culture of the company that you're applying to. If your resume has not been tailored, it is meaningless documentation. Other than your mother, who might like to read it, a lot of people don't know what to do with it, and in fact, it's used to disqualify you. So resumes that are customized are meaningful documentation. Other common marketplace myths include that there's a talent shortage. I'm here to tell you there is no talent shortage. We have tons of people who are extremely talented who have just given up on looking. Another notion, HR does the hiring. HR does not do the hiring. How about job descriptions tell the whole story? No, job descriptions do not tell the whole story. How about the primary reason people get hired is because they're talented? No, data tells us that 80% of people who get hired because someone walked them in due to a relationship. How about them apples? How about the idea that retrofitting yourself for a paycheck is satisfying? It's not satisfying. In fact, it feels very demeaning and it makes me a desperate job seeker. How about the fact that job boards are a viable route to opportunity, true opportunity? Have you had any luck with the job boards? Everybody we talk to says that it's a screening tool for multi-level marketing and that most of the stuff on job boards is bogus. So it's a complete waste of time. Another common mindset is that real offers are based on your last salary, W-2, or someone else's salary survey. We're going to teach you how to defend your value and to negotiate a salary that is fair and will acknowledge the value that you bring a company. Another thing that people believe is that your ability to create value and impact is determined by age. That's not true at all. And we can prove that in time and time again. Also, people believe that behavioral interviews have meaning. Not really. They oftentimes are just used to get a general feel for people, but what really has meaning is when people connect and they talk about what it is that they're really truly looking for, and when people understand what kind of culture is a good fit. Finally, one of the marketplace myths that is so wrong is that networking and connections and relationships are all the same thing. How many times have you been told, go out and build your network? What you need to do is just go build your network. Well, that's not true. You need to take time to focus on relationships, and we're going to move that process forward in the next module.